What's up? It's Chris, and welcome to the Rewired Soul, where we talk about the problem, but we focus on the solution. And this is another episode of Depression Hacks. So imagine getting asked to participate in some type of experiment, and you walk into a room, and a scientist gives you a pen. All right? And if you're in group one, they're going to ask you to sit down and hold this pen in your hand while you watch TV. If you're in the next group, they're going to give you this pen, and they're going to ask you to hold this pen in your lips. If you're in the third group, they're going to ask you to take this pen and hold it between your teeth without your lips touching it. Pretty freaking weird, huh? So this was an actual experiment that they did, and they did not tell these people what this experiment was about. They brought them in a room, they gave them the pen, and they gave them one of these three things to do with that pen. So while they were doing this with the pen, they turned on cartoons. I don't know if it was Looney Tunes or whatever was on in the 80s when they did this, but what they found was that the people who held the pen in their mouth with their teeth and were forming a smile were much more likely to laugh and enjoy the cartoons. The ones holding it between their lips, they were a lot less likely to find enjoyment while watching those cartoons. And then the people holding it in their hand, they were kind of in the middle. Now, what this experiment was for was something that we call biofeedback. What biofeedback is that your brain is trying to read signals from your body to know what it should be doing. So, a lot of the times, we reflect how our brain feels. But part of these depression hacks is that we can teach our brain to start thinking the way that we're acting. So what science has found is that when your mouth is in a smile, your brain, it all of a sudden looks and it's like, whoa, 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 I guess we're supposed to be happy right now. And it starts sending these happy chemicals, these neurotransmitters through your brain, and it starts to spark up your mood. Now, I need to make a few things very clear. I'm not asking you to run around like a lunatic with some crazy smile on your face. That is not the case. One thing that I will say is that humans are beings that are meant to be connected. We have something called mirroring neurons. What that means is that we feed off of each other's expressions, emotions, and everything like that. So, imagine you're walking down the street and you happen to have just a slight smile on your face. Nothing creepy that's going to scare anybody off, but as people are walking past you on the street, you have one of those on your face, just a half smile. The chances are that more people walking the opposite direction and see that half smile, they're going to smile back at you. And that gives you a good feeling inside. But a lot of the times when we're not being mindful, we walk around reflecting the way that we feel inside. And then people look at us and like, oh, what's wrong with that guy, right? And we don't get those smiles back. And check it. In no way am I saying walk around with a fake smile on your face and hide or suppress your feeling. That is not what I'm saying at all. In a later video, we're going to talk about how therapeutic it is to talk to people, to express your emotions, to express what you're feeling. So don't look at this as, oh, I gotta wear a fake smile in order to be happy. That's not what I'm saying at all. What we're doing is that we're retraining our brain by having this even half smile on our face. So I'll share with you my personal experience. I used to be a very angry person. I hated everybody. Not only did I hate myself, I hated the rest of the world. And it showed a lot on my facial expression. Even when I was in a good mood, I had people who were saying like, oh, why are you in such a bad mood, Chris? I'm like, what? This is just my face. And some of you might have heard this. I guess I had resting face, if you know what I mean. When I started doing this and even having this half smile on my face, not only was my mood improving, but my social interactions were improving. They say your first impression isn't even when you talk to somebody. Your first impression is when that person first sees you from across the room. So imagine walking into any kind of social gathering with that on your face. People are going to naturally be like, okay, maybe I'll keep my distance from that person. So it was one of those fake it till you make it type deals. And I remember I had a client who lost his mind on me. I wasn't even talking about this biofeedback thing, it was something else, but I mentioned fake it till you make it, and he lost his mind. He's like, why should I fake it till I make it? And I'm like, chill, because it works. Something that we'll be talking about more and more throughout this series is how our brain will often follow our actions. So a lot of the time, even though we're not feeling it, we just do it. What you will start to find is that even when you put on this little half smile, what it does is sometimes you'll just feel stupid, you'll feel goofy, and it'll encourage a smile. You'll just start laughing for no reason. And that right there will help boost your mood as well, just because you're laughing at what an idiot you feel like. And that's good enough. Whatever is helping boost your mood is good enough. But in the description below, I will link you to the research. I will link you to another YouTube video that actually talks more about smiling and biofeedback. For those of you who have been listening to me about mindfulness and trying to practice mindfulness, I recently read a book by Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's called The Miracle of Mindfulness. And in his book, he talks about doing all of your practices, even if it's just a breathing practice, with a half smile on your face. And I started doing this. Even when I was breathing and just counting my breaths, I would bring this half smile. And like I was saying, I immediately will start giggling to myself because maybe I feel stupid, even though I'm doing it by myself and nobody can see me. But it improves my mood just almost immediately. Now, like I've said in the first introductory video, a lot of this stuff is going to take time. But you will see as you begin to do it, your brain's going to start catching up to your body, and that in itself is going to start improving your mood. Biofeedback is something that is scientifically proven, and it is amazing. I'm going to do more videos on biofeedback, so what I need you to do is like this video if this helps you out. Leave comments below. Your comments can be, hey Chris, it worked, or it could be like, hey Chris, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Whatever it is. But I'm taking all of this information. I will give you more tips, more advice in the comments, but it will also help me to make new videos when I know what you're specifically struggling with. If you haven't yet subscribed, and I will see you next time with more depression hacks. Don't forget to share this video with somebody that you know who may be struggling with depression, or just somebody you know who might need an excuse to smile a little bit more often. Show them that science backs a good reason why you should be smiling.